This fight is a classic example of pressure versus precision, but at the elite level, not all pressure is equal. While Matias brings intensity, toughness, and raw power, Smith brings refinement, adaptability, and championship level composure. On paper and stylistically, this is a highly unfavorable matchup for Matias. Matias, relentless pressure with major defensive gaps. Matias is a fighter who believes in imposing his will. From the opening bell, his objective is clear: close distance, throw heavy hooks, and force his opponent into uncomfortable, physical exchanges. When he's able to crowd fighters, his strength and power can overwhelm them quickly. His willingness to absorb shots to land his own has helped him break opponents mentally and physically in the past. His conditioning is respectable, allowing him to keep coming forward even after taking punishment. He's also effective in the clinch, where he can lean, push, and disrupt rhythm. However, these strengths are tied directly to his biggest weaknesses. Matias's defense is extremely porous. His chin is often high, his guard drops during combinations, and he rarely moves his head on entry. He relies on durability rather than avoidance, which becomes a serious liability against accurate punchers. Another concern is his lack of adaptability. When his pressure doesn't immediately pay off, Matias tends to press harder rather than smarter, becoming increasingly predictable. Against a fighter who reads patterns well, this can lead to disastrous consequences. Smith, a complete championship caliber operator. Smith is the definition of a polished fighter. He combines speed, timing, and footwork with a calm, disciplined approach. Rather than chasing knockouts, Smith lets them come naturally by exploiting mistakes. His counterpunching is sharp and economical. He wastes very little motion, which allows him to strike first and recover quickly. Smith's distance management will be the key factor in this matchup. He understands when to engage and when to disengage, constantly forcing opponents to reset. His footwork isn't just defensive, it's offensive, creating angles that leave opponents punching air while exposing their openings. When Matias steps in with wide hooks, Smith's straight punches down the center are likely to land clean and often. Conditioning is another major edge for Smith. Even as the fight drags on, his speed and power remain consistent. This allows him to maintain a high level of control without feeling rushed, something that will frustrate Matias as the rounds progress. Psychological and strategic dynamics. Mentally, this fight could unravel quickly for Matias. Smith's ability to make opponents miss while landing clean counters can drain confidence just as much as it drains stamina. Each failed rush and each clean counter will force Matias to take more risks, widening the defensive gap Smith thrives on. Smith, meanwhile, has the patience to let the fight develop. He doesn't need to dominate every second, he only needs to win the exchanges that matter. His composure under pressure and experience at a high level suggest he won't be baited into unnecessary brawls, even if Matias manages to make moments messy. Likely fight progression. Early rounds will see Matias aggressively pushing forward, attempting to establish physical dominance. There will be clinches, bodywork, and moments where Matias appears dangerous simply due to his presence and power. However, Smith's movement and counters should immediately begin to tell. By the middle rounds, the difference in efficiency will become obvious. Matias will likely have absorbed far more damage than he's delivered, possibly suffering one or more knockdowns from clean right straights or well-timed left hooks. His pressure will slow slightly, but his aggression will remain, often to his detriment. As the fight reaches the later stages, Smith's control should be complete. Matias's entries will become more desperate and predictable, making him increasingly vulnerable to decisive counters. A final knockdown or accumulation of damage will likely prompt a stoppage. Final prediction. This is a stylistic mismatch that strongly favors Smith. While Matias's toughness and pressure may create brief moments of danger, they are unlikely to overcome Smith's superior skill set. Expect Smith to dominate through timing, footwork, and precision before securing a knockout. Final pick, Smith by knockout after multiple knockdowns.